What's up, Warriors? It's Aaron Couchman here with men's wrestling coach Cole Spree. He had a very great season this last season, so we're going to do a little recap of the season of 24-25. So, Coach, you won the program's first ever national championship. Can you talk about what that was like?
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, been the goal since we got here 5 years ago. Just took time to kind of get all the pieces in place to ultimately accomplish what we wanted to accomplish. But yeah, had 9 All-Americans, 2 national champions, our first ever national champion individually, both Gavin Whitehead and Andrew Marquez. And then as a team, we're able to win a national championship and, on top of that, set the NJCAA record for points. So yeah, it was definitely a year that'll be remembered for a long time.
So leadership is a big responsibility and an important factor when it comes to winning a national championship. So can you talk about your sophomore class and the leaderships that you felt that they had this year?
Yeah, I think from day one this year, I think we noticed it last year when they were freshmen. There was just a few individuals. There's a core group of individuals that really stuck out to us, but they were freshmen, and we knew that they had a learning curve. But we, kind of put all of our chips in on them, and really put an emphasis on building them up so that they were ready to lead this year as a sophomore. And we were very fortunate. They bought into kind of what Coach Foz and I were bringing to them, and then that this year they pretty much what Coach Foz and I did last year with putting our chips in and teaching them, they as leaders did to the freshmen. And we're just hoping that now, building that culture and empowering those types of individuals to really invest, we can continue to just continue the tradition. But yeah, we were very fortunate with that core group of sophomores and just the leadership that they brought. And it wasn't just even guys that were in the lineup. There was guys on the outside of the lineup that this meant something to them, and leaving their legacy on Indian Hills men's wrestling, it mattered, and it mattered a lot. And so it's pretty cool to watch this year.
You started the program here, Coach, and this is your 5th year. What makes Indian Hills so special for you?
I think there's a lot, but I think the thing that we go back to all the time when we're talking to prospective athletes, through the recruiting process, and just explaining to them, we get asked by a lot of people, success and the amount of success we've had, like why, and it's a big piece of it is just people here get it, and the buy-in is complete. You don't have people operating from their own islands. We're all on one island. Whether it's the community, it's the faculty, it's the staff. We're all in. We're all in together. Indian Hills Athletics means a lot to them. And I've been other places, and it's not always like that. And so to be in a place like that, it's ultimately, that's the piece that you have to have. That's the piece of the recipe that's the most important to make, a great batch of whatever you want. And so I think that's been the key component. It's just how everybody's all in and everybody's going in the same direction kind of thing.
Okay, so Coach, coming off of your national championship, what are you going to be using to build off of that success for this next year?
I don't think you have to look very far. We are in a very fortunate situation where we have 6 returning All-Americans, 7 returning national qualifiers, 2 of them were national champs, 3 of them were, and then we had another national finalist. I think all of them were, top 6 in the country. So we return a lot. And then we've got kids that maybe were freshmen that were on the outside looking in that are ready to, they're eager to step in. So we've got that good core already established in returning. But, we're not foolish. You can't ever become complacent. Somebody's, out there working hard, and, other teams and coaches and stuff trying to do what we did, or to knock us off. And so, Coach Voss done a phenomenal job of really getting out there and just finding and replacing those places that maybe we had needs. And we're really excited. I think this freshman class that we brought in, that'll be sophomores, was super talented, and we might have matched it or gone above it with this incoming freshman class. We're in a great state. We're pretty much at a point, it's in the junior college world early in the recruiting process, but we've pretty much been to a place where we're done. We're done. We'll maybe bring in one or two more kids, but we're pretty satisfied with what we were able to accomplish and with what we have returning. We were able to retain a lot and bring in some really great pieces.
So Coach, you recruit kids from all over the world. Give us your 60-second rundown of why they should choose Indian Hills. I think our number one thing that we tell, that we stick to, and I think the kids that have been part of the program, in the past or currently part of the program would speak testament to, is just, it's more than wrestling. We sell being a great person, being a great student, and then we can become a great athlete. We don't just try to set our kids up to win national championships. Obviously, we love that, and it's a big piece of it. And it's one of their main goals when they get here. But at the end of the day, they got to go out into the real world and they got to survive. And so being a great person and getting this education so that they can further themselves in life is a big piece of it. And we tell them, that's what we tell recruits. Come check it out, come meet Coach Voss, myself, the team, and you're just going to learn that it's such a big picture, and that you're going to be loved and you're going to be cared about, and you're going to be a part of something really special in the end. So I think that that's kind of our big emphasis. It's not just about the winning piece of it. It's more. So. Well, thank you, Coach, for being here today, and good luck on your upcoming season. So you guys can follow us on all of our social media platforms, and be sure to check us out on IndianHillsAthletics.com.